aucune couverte douce pour moi. Mais... Elle est en train de te quoi? Sorry about all the camera stuff. Right. Boop, 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 boop. Hello. Hi Phoebe. Hi Judy. Hi Dan. In regards to the cat that supposedly has COVID-19, I know that the helpful Vancouver vet has made some really interesting videos about that. Not specifically this case, but more about how pets can or cannot transmit the virus in the sense that they can be carrier for it. Like they can have it on themselves and then when we pet them we pick it up, but I'm just waiting for my coffee to be ready. Hey Malvina, hi. Oups. Salut, qu'est-ce que tu fais? Ah, there. He said that it's possible, like, to transmit through contact if someone like cough on the cat and then you immediately pet it. But he was talking about how fur is not a great surface to for viruses to survive on. But I mean, he made a great video about it. I think it's worth a look if you're really curious about this. I mean, there's been so many cases of COVID-19, and so many people have pets. And if there's only a story about one cat that possibly has it, I'd still be a bit skeptic. Oh boy. Bye, Pico. Qu'est-ce que tu fais? Tu veux pas rester avec nous? Au revoir, Pico. Tu reviens quand tu veux. Oops. She left. Yeah, Dr. Yuri did a really interesting video about cats and dogs being vessels for the virus. It's not definitely not all viruses can go from humans to pets. So I don't think there's a. I would be really careful about anything that is said about any pets having that specific virus. In the same way that you have diseases that only certain animals can have and they don't jump to humans. Yeah, Pickle came to say hi. Maybe she'll be back. Sometimes she does this thing where she will settle down somewhere and then it's like she realizes that she's thirsty or that she has to go to the bathroom, to the litter box, and she will go do her cat things and she comes back. So maybe we'll have her back later on. Who knows? How is everyone today? I hope you guys are not too bothered, if I can say that. That's not the word I want to use. What would be a good word? I hope everyone is still doing good, not too affected, perhaps, by the quarantine and all of that. I mean, I am fine with staying home, but apparently some people are not. So, yeah. Hey, it's okay. Hi. Hi, Patricia. Did I say hi? Hi again. I'm okay, got a bit of a headache. Oh, I'm with you there. I had a headache for like 24 hours yesterday. It started like, not last night, but the night before. And it kind of ebbed away finally last night. It was just like, all right, I get it. You can leave. Shoo. And it was not really a tension headache. It was just a annoying headache, maybe. Patricia says, I'm great, thanks. Happy to be home and knowing absolutely no one is going to knock on my door. Phoebe says, I'm cool with staying home and everything I do is online, so that's good. Yeah, it's a really good time in general to have as big an online presence as we do nowadays with everything. Yeah, all day headaches are really annoying. I don't get them that often. But yeah, sometimes I do. And even if you take like pain medicine, it's not super efficient. It's still business as normal for me. I'm really curious about what you do as a job, Dan. Mikey says, being mostly bedbound, I don't like being dependent on everybody else to keep me safe. Otherwise, I'm cool. Yeah. Yep. I can see that. It's a really difficult situation to be in when someone needs help, but getting necessary help means having more people show up at your place. And if you are more vulnerable to something like the virus, it kind of adds stress into the mix, which is not something we need right now. No one needs extra stress. I work in a payroll. Oh, I see. Oh, then you could easily work from home. Well, no, mind you, it depends. Sometimes, like, you would think that computer jobs are all doable from home, but it's not. Sometimes the software or you need access to specific data banks that you cannot have access to from home. Malvina says, I have remote job in the garden. I'm only worried because my mom is a nurse. Oh, that's yep, I can understand that. How is she dealing with all this, in the sense that how are they where are they at where she works, at her hospital? Like, do they still have enough equipment? Do they have many cases? Are they overwhelmed? Or is it still like somewhat manageable? Hey, it's Tsukaboo, hi. I'm in desperate need of socialization. We continue being opposites. Okay, that's quite funny. But I have to rely on Mr. E to drag me outside once a day. I'm never in any rush to go outside. Though, mind you, the fact that people have been sort of told to stay home, it's a lot more fun for an introvert to take a walk outside. There's a lot less people around. And you have a really good excuse to walk away from them when they come near. So, in light of that, I don't mind it all that much. It's like, oh yeah, I'm stepping away from you, not because I kind of dislike human interactions in general, but it's because of the virus, you know? Haha! Perfect excuse. It's easier to work in office, but we're now set up from home just in case, but we pay real essential workers. Okay. Yeah, I was talking about with someone who is doing remote work at the moment too, and it's kind of funny because the remote work, the way it's done is that you connect to your work computer through kind of a connection. Like it's like it opens your work computer, but it shows what you do on it on your screen, like at home. But if there's an issue like that the computer over there needs a manual reboot, well, who will take care of that then? And there has to be like one person that is there on location that they can contact in case of a need of a manual reboot. I thought that was pretty peculiar. We're not early. It's it's daylight savings for us. For me, it's still the same time as usual. Hey, Alex. Hey, Lena. Hi, guys. I'm sorry it's early for you. This planet is in chaos, not even times work. Pretty much. Okay, so Malvina says that her mom bought Malvina bought her mom a mask and a face shield. She didn't get it at work, but still more. Yeah, you're perfectly like, I can absolutely understand why you would be worried. In Denmark, people see the virus thing as a time to get out and enjoy the spring weather. Yeah, not quite. I think Denmark needs more Italian mayors to go outside and yell at people to get back inside. Tsukaboo says, my mom had me order Pizza Hut yesterday evening for dinner, and we saw that they do limited contact delivery. I was all, yeah, I'm all about that, though I still made sure to distantly thank the pizza guy. I kind of do that too with the mailman. I try to catch him when he leaves. And I'm like, thank you! Stay safe! Over 90% of the world's school children are out of school because of quarantine. It's nuts. Yeah, and they might lose the rest of the year, so I don't know how it will affect their whole school curriculum. Like, will they have to restart the year? How is it? Can you imagine if they were to have all of them have summer school? I would have been miserable. The stay safe thing has always confused me. COVID-19 is not going to jump me on the way to my truck. No, but hold on. It's more about, like, when I say stay safe to someone who, in the case of COVID, it's more like be careful not to touch your face, or make sure you wash your hands whenever you come home. You know, that kind of thing that perhaps people are not used to doing, but that is really important to do right now. So that's kind of what I mean. I don't know if that's what it means in English, but that's what I kind of have in mind when I say it. Hey Melissa, hi! Toke says, right now I have school through Skype. How does that work? Like, it's a good sentiment, it just makes no sense to me, I don't know. I don't know. Dan says, love Pizza Hut. I'm surprised they haven't contacted me to see why I haven't been ordering lately. Well, I'm pretty sure they assume it's got to be because of all that's going on. Perhaps you are limiting your interactions. Phoebe says, thankfully I'm at an online school anyway, so I'm not affected by the quarantine academically. Oh, awesome! Hey Melissa, hi. I don't know if I said hi, but hi. Judy says, the sky looked bluer this week on a couple sunny days. Oh, possibly. Less pollution, maybe? It's not that good, but it works. Yeah, I guess that working from home in this situation depends a lot on how willing the students are to put in the work. Because working from home is not easy. There are, like, only distractions. And we are close enough to, you know, spring, and it's always the moment in the year, in the school year, that I remember feeling a bit less focused, because, you know, summer is coming and you're kind of rushing through tests and it's like really intense, but at the same time, since it's so intense, you kind of need a break. Yeah, it's a Blackwing. It's a Palomino Blackwing, one of the special editions thingy, because it was on sale. It was less expensive than the regular ones, so I was like, yeah, sure. Yeah, I love the autumn daylight savings, the whole extra hour in bed. Or if I forget an extra hour to paint. Yeah. I don't know, I always felt like, yay, I'm glad we gained an hour, but I'm always immediately bummed out after, because I know it's not It's not that they gave us an hour, it's that we borrow an hour. We're gonna have to give it back sometime sooner or later. And that's gonna feel awful. Incredible edibles. I started selling a basket of fruits and vegetables. Oh, really? How nice. Patricia says, right now my grocery store has a seniors only between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. Bliss. Happy seniors with the whole store to ourselves, as they let us in about 10 at a time, keeping 2 meters apart in line. That's great. They tried to do something a bit similar at our grocery store. We went yesterday. It was kind of dumb, but at the same time, they had this policy that only one person per family could walk in. But people caught on with that, so they would just separate themselves in the line and be like 2 meters apart from their spouse, and they would each go in separately and regroup in the store. And I was like, this is pretty dumb. This is this really dumb idea. Like it just doesn't work. And yeah, and we tried to do the right thing. Like we went, both of us, because that's how we usually do. And there were no notice anywhere that it was only one person per family. So I sent Mr. E to do the groceries with the list, and I had to wait. I decided to wait. I could have come home, but I would have to go back. And anyway, it was kind of dumb. But I waited, and I was like, you know what? It wouldn't have made much of a change if I had gotten inside with him. Like, we stick... I don't... Unless I'm missing something. Do you guys think I'm missing something? I just don't really get it. Hey, Mark Chat, hi. Hey, Amisha, hi. That's always a good reason to be late. I haven't drawn a lot with these yet. They are excessively fine pencils. But pencils might not be your thing. That's also possible. And they're very long too. Do I have a regular pencil around? Nope. I only have stubs. I have a... That's just like 10% of all the pencil stubs I have. Because when I did animation in school, I don't know, I got into this habit of never throwing away the pencil stubs. Because these pencils are super expensive on their own. They're like $1.50 per pencil, depending... And you go through them like a lot in animation school. So I kept all my stubby pencil with the idea that I could get a pencil extender and plug them back in and use up what's left of them. But I finished animation before that, and most of the work in animation is digital, so I had no need for pencils. As for whether these are worth it, they're expensive. It's like $30 for a box of 12 pencils. So I would say, if you find a place that has them on sale sometimes, to perhaps look out for that. I found them on sale, which is why I decided to try them out. I really like that they sell a cap too. This thing is a pencil cap, so you can basically just put it on there. It's really quite secure, and that way it makes sure that you won't have either pencil marks all over your stuff or have a chance of breaking the tip. These are quite hard to break too. They're kind of sturdy. You were allowed to go in the store together. Have you seen that Daniel Smith has got an individual half pants? Yeah, it's the same pants that they sell in their metal sets. But there was a guy touching all the breads. And a couple in gloves. Yeah, that's the other thing that I'm sort of missing a piece, is the gloves thing. Hold on, let me catch up on chat. Same here, no limit on family, but they do not take the whole family if it's big. Yeah, I mean, if 6 people show up from the same family for groceries, I would possibly tell them to just go 1 or 2 person in. Patricia says, I think they're trying to stop a whole family from each taking a card, filling it, getting behind each other at the cashier, then passing back the interact. Oh, possibly. Gee, people need to chill. like to really like mellow out, because whoa, what a bummer, you know, because fine, some people have found this way of messing up the system, but the ones who pay for it is like everyone else who, like us, like I kind of know a bit more what I want to get at the grocery store, and I make the list in terms of like that I will understand, like stuff. Sometimes stuff is really abstract on the list, but I know what it means. And Mr. E at the moment is the one who pays for the groceries, so the fact that I had to send him in alone, it went well, but it could have been more complex, you know. Like, luckily he was able to find everything that was on the list, but I mean, what if not? And we were not gonna do the thing where we buy two carts full and pretend we're two different people. It's just the way we do, you know. Anyway. But yeah, it's a good theory, and it bums me out that people abuse the system that way. So yeah, about the gloves, it's just that people put the gloves on, and I am not sure I see why they could not just not wear gloves. Is it because they assume that when they're going to be done with the groceries, they're just going to remove the gloves and not have to wash their hands? I would wash my hands anyway. I don't know. I don't know. Well, the thing is, with the Daniel Smith pans, I mean, if you have any empty pans and any Daniel Smith tubes, you can make your own. They are hand-bored pans, so it's basically people taking the tubes and going prutch in the pans, and that's it. Yeah, I was able to find toilet paper too. People over here are possibly not too insane. Like, it depends on when and where you go. Like, I couldn't find the one we usually take, but I found one anyway, and I was like, that's gonna do the trick. I'm okay. Mikey says, I live in a mother-daughter house, and we have 4 refrigerators and a deep freezer. Wow. We have not had to buy anything since the quarantine. That's kind of really cool. It's also like masks in that wearing a mask, you're way less likely to touch your face. Oh, the gloves would be there as a way to not touch your face with your hands, I guess. It's kind of wasteful though. Can you imagine how much trash that's gonna... Not for people in that works in a hospital. Like, that's they need it. They absolutely need it. But like regular people who do their groceries. Another theory about gloves: we tend not to touch our own face when we wear gloves, so they are self-protective. Yeah, I don't know, maybe it's just me. It's like I've always kept the habit of never touching my face if I'm not sure I have clean hands. Like, you find ways of like using knuckles, and well, knuckles could have the virus, but like to push up your glasses, use shoulders, use, you know, rub your chin against your I mean, it doesn't look very clever, but I mean, yuck. Commuting. Have you commuted lately? It's really gross. So yeah, I found ways really early on to not really bother with that. But yeah, I can see why that might... It just... Oh, I don't know. It's not reusable gloves, so I think that's what bothers me. I mean, if it's just the fact that you're having gloves on your hands, why not put like some really thin winter gloves, or buy some cotton ones that you can wash at least? I don't know. As a nurse, when you wear gloves, you are still required to wash your hands after removing them. Standard procedure. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I could see it any other way. I mean, especially if you wear gloves for a certain time, sometimes it's just the feeling is not great and kind of want to wash it off anyway. I know that possibly some gloves have a bit of a powder in there so that they are easier to put on, so that's something you might want to wash off too. Local grocery store got so many toilet paper rolls that they have many left over. That's great. I mean, you would rather have leftover toilet paper than not enough. Yeah, better to have too many than not enough where the stores are concerned right now. Yep. While I was waiting, I saw so many people come out with like huge carts. One guy, I don't know why, he thought it might be better to have 2 small carts than 1 big one. So I don't know, I had nothing else to do but to watch people come in and out, so that's what I did. I really don't mind it as much, but I wish they would have, like, all the other doors, there was something like, there was something that that told people to go to this specific entry. That was the one where they made sure just a few people came in and came out. And if they had these notices, they could have easily put on them like only 1 person per family, and we have extended the pay pass limit to a much higher amount. Because if we had seen that beforehand, I would have been the one to go to the groceries. Just because it would have been just a bit like easier. I could decipher my gibberish on the list better. But anyway, long story short, it still went well. I like to make paint when I'm bored. Oh, that's nice. That's a great thing to do when you're bored. I'm always a bit struggling with the concept of being bored. Like, it happens, but I'm always like, for people like us who always have a hobby, like, do we ever get bored, really? I wonder if there's going to be a run on bidets after that. There's going to be a huge rise in popularity for Japanese toilets. I mean, we should all already have Japanese toilets, but... Yikes! That sucks. Tsukabu says, I have a friend who can't go into stores right now because of the cancer. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Because of the cleaner they're using flaring up her allergies. Oh yeah, by the way, that's a very valid point, but anyone in the chat who is working on the front lines, be it people working in grocery stores or medical staff. Thank you so much. Like, it's mind-blowing. It's amazing. And you people are really, really awesome. Yeah, there's really too much to do. I can socialize and I like to rest my head on my hand. Well, just wash your hands before you do that, okay? You'll be fine. Oh yeah, I saw that. Amisha says that that there were so many people who were going into local Walmart for non-essential things, that the little stores that are closed were complaining that Walmart was stealing all of the business. And now Walmart has sort of decided that they can only sell what is essential. But how do you define... Like, it's kind of a really blurry line. Like, what is essential and what is not at that point. Yeah, and if it's not the fun stuff to be done, it's always the boring stuff. Hey, you could vacuum. Chocolate and teas are essential. I think I have enough tea to last me a long time. Chocolate, though, a bit less. Some would say I don't need chocolate, and I would be amongst them. But it's tasty. It's delicious. I need to make more muffins. Oh, I gotta share that story because it's way too funny. So, perhaps I've mentioned it before, but Scout really, really loves pumpkin puree. You know, the pure pumpkin you can buy in a can. It's like absurd how much he liked that stuff. And it's really funny to see her go when I open cans to make muffins, because I make these pumpkin spice muffins. And like, I open the can, she doesn't react. If she gets a whiff of the pumpkin, she will like immediately know what it is and start making noises to get some. And also, like, if I transfer the content of the can to a bowl, like a container for keeping in the fridge, pumpkin puree does this really awesome splat when you sort of take it from the can and splat it in the container. If she hears that specific splat, she will come running to ask for pumpkin. And it's really, really funny. So yesterday I was considering giving them a tiny amount of it. So I opened the container and she didn't react really. So I put the container like between her and me, and I just like blew hair just over the container. And you could see the change in her face when the smell of the pumpkin got to her. Like immediately she got all hyped, all excited, big eyes, and she went meow, meow, meow. She really wanted the pumpkin. So that's funny. That's really fun. I need to film it eventually because it's hilarious. She will go crazy for pumpkin. Like, there are worse things than that. Hey, Stephen, hi. Yeah, pumpkin is good for cats. It helps them with since their protein. Let's switch that around. Since their diet is mostly protein, because cats are carnivores, sometimes they can have a bit of a constipation issue. So you can give them, if they like it, you can give them a bit of pumpkin puree, the pure one, not the one with the spices in it. But you can give them pure pumpkin, and it helps because it has a bit more fiber and water in it. And cats are not good drinkers, and their diet is full of proteins. So yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's the point. It helps with hairballs too. I think it helps with like the hairballs processing through the digestive tract instead of being stuck in their stomach. They eat grass, like regular grass, from the same reason, because they cannot digest the cells in the grass. Like, grass is undigestible to cats, so that's why it makes them sick, and they will eat it so that it can like make them sick, and they can throw up the hairballs when they feel like they have a hairball forming and it's not comfortable. Dexter has the food is being made without me saying, "Oh no! Hey, Steve!" Thank you for stopping by. Say happy birthday to your missus from all of us. Happy birthday, Judy. Rather subdued since the two of us made a tiramisu cake. Oh, yummy. Tiramisu is awesome. We hate like little pigs. You only have one 80th celebration. Oh, wow. Can cats have carrots? No, not necessarily. I don't think they tend to go for... They put carrots in all the cat food I've seen. Like, it's in so many cat foods. But it's not ideal for them. Happy 80th, Miss Judy. Oh, with tiramisu, too. I kind of miss it. I cannot have tiramisu anymore because it's full of cheese. It's full of mascarpone and cream, I think. And I know it's gonna make me absolutely sick. But I miss it. We have some family in Italy. So the recipe we had for tiramisu came from an Italian relative. So it felt like a really, really legit tiramisu recipe. And I see the Savoy cookies sold at the grocery store all the time. And I'm always like, I see them and I have this pang of longing for a good tiramisu, but yeah, not anymore. Hey, Linux Switch, it's been a while. Steve says, I'm painting and drawing lots. Gardening is starting and bees are working again. That's really awesome. I think you have so much stuff to keep you busy. Plus hobbies like painting. Oh, by the way, how did the kittens do with their dog, Mummy? I hope they managed to recover. Well, that was a fun disconnection. Oh no. We just can't agree. Tiramisu is interesting. Tiramisu is awesome. Though I would prefer mine without any alcohol in it. The only alcohol we have in here is mostly for cooking. And besides, more often than not, you won't find many brain medication for like anxiety and depression that is compatible with alcohol. And I would much rather be able to function than to be able to have the occasional drink. Oh man, bees. Do you collect the honey, Steve? Bees are so sweet. Honey is too, but I mean, the bees are really, really adorable. 2 kittens. They will make it. Ah, awesome. Yay. Oh, that's great. I'm so glad. It's always fun when things turn out rather fine. I mean, it's not Caturday if we don't inquire about kittens, isn't it? Hey, Nicole! Welcome! Hi and welcome. The bees were all over the crocus field. Oh, wow, if you have a crocus field, that's gotta look amazing right now. Because these always flower first, and they are so bright and so cheerful. And I really like that they duplicate every year. So if one year you put in the ground like 3 bulbs of crocuses, the year after you're gonna get 6 crocuses, and then you're gonna get 12, and then you're gonna get 24, and so on and so forth, until you have so many crocuses. Croci? Crocuses or croci? We got a few different kind of bees that love a garden. Some really fat black and white fuzzy bees to tiny bees. I mean, bees are amazing, and all they want is to be left to do their bee things. I mean, I wouldn't want to go near... I'm not at the point where I would want to go near... hold on, I'm trying to find the word. A nest? Is that what it's called? But, like, I am not as terrified of bees as I am from, like, wasps. I don't know why, but wasps are terrifying. Bees are just, like, fuzzy and cute and on a mission. Bumblebees are even, like even more of that, like, bumblier and fuzzier and... Is it wrong to want to grow crocuses so I can harvest my own saffron? Hold on. Saffron comes from crocuses? Whoa. The more you know. No, I think it's perfectly fine. Nestor Hive. Thank you so much, Alex. I really had a blank in my brain of not being able to find the word. It happens too much. I planted 40,000 crocuses years ago. Now it's just a sea of purple. Wow, how long did it take to plant that many crocuses? Good grief. That's a lot of them. That sounds absolutely gorgeous, but holy moly, that's a lot of plants. Oh, whoa, really? Malvina says we have an old/new bee here. It was said it is extincted, but it appears again, and it is black violet. Her name is Xylocopa violacea. She's very pretty. I gotta check that out. Yep. That sounds amazing. It's like the opposite of her, well, not the entire opposite, but like we all know here that yellow and purple are like opposites. I just learned a few years ago that wasps aren't bees. No, they're not bees. They look like them, kinda, but they're so mean. They might not be mean, I just have a really profound fear of wasps. And then you have these like terrifying ones, like the huge killer wasp from somewhere, and you're like, yikes! So saffron comes from Crocus stamen. I didn't know that. Huh. From Crocus sativus, aka saffron crocus. Sativus, that's like, you have that for cannabis too, right? Right? What do I know? Only a few threads from each flower and labor intensive to harvest. Yeah. Though I don't think you need that much in recipes. Thankfully. Wasps, tiny evil nightmare fuel that can fly. Well, they look interesting, but I don't know, man. They are terrifying. Like, I can see, like, you see bees and you're like, oh, bees. They're fuzzy, they're cute, they're on a mission. Like, their goal in life is to go around flowers and pick up pollen to bring back home, eat, vomit into cells, and that's gonna become food for future bees. And you're like, that's kind of cool. I have absolutely no idea why wasps are there, except being terrifying and killing the cute stuff. Like being an absolutely like terrible thing for bees too. So I'm just like, why? Who came up with the idea of wasps? Can we like reconsider, please? I'm not so sure. Also for several other varieties. Oh, I would love to have an herb garden. I would plant so much catnip in it. Yeah, and bees keep us alive. That's a big plus. Ouch. Mikey says, I stepped on a wasp when I was a kid. It stung me in its death throes between the toes. It really hurt. Oh! I think I might have been stung once by a wasp, but I didn't see what stung me. I just know that something stung my finger, and then my finger like inflated, and then it came back down eventually. Hey, Ellen! Hi! Same guy who came up with mosquitoes. Ah! Probably. That's a good one. Now I am dreaming of saffron and honey quiche. That sounds out of this world. Oh, wow. Are we back to talking about food? Because I'm all for it. Wasps are pollinator. Are they? Huh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's true. They are bird food. Or, you know, when you see like certain animals that are willing to like eat from the nests of these critters, like from a hive of wasps or a nest of wasps, and I'm like, I got mad props to you, because yikes. Eep. No, you're correct. Mosquitoes are the only thing better than humans at killing humans. Yikes. They are, though. Malaria is not good, and it's not the only thing. Dragonflies. Okay, dragonflies also love a good feast of mosquitoes. Well, bats. Bats love mosquitoes, which is great. Oh, I'm so sorry, Mikey. That sounds really awful. Well, you didn't get stung, Melissa. Melissa says, I rescued a wasp some years ago, mistook it for a bee. It was exhausted on the ground, gave it a drop of honey. It ate up and flew away after a few minutes. Only later I realized it was a wasp and I could have been stung. Well, it was apparently grateful and didn't sting you. Oh yeah, ticks. But ticks, I think ticks are not insects per se. They are arachnids, which only makes them like infinitely worse. Or like they're from the crab family or something weird like that. I mean, it doesn't make them any less evil. Saffron and honey quiche is like eating little slices of a warm spring day. Aw. Yeah, I want your food too. It sounds delicious. When I was in kindergarten, every time we found a spider web with a spider, the people who ran the kindergarten said we should find all the wood louse we could, and when we found them all, would you put them in the web? This third choice at Chez Amicia includes saffron and honey quiche and lavender custard. Okay, so when are you opening your restaurant of fancy foods? Good grief. A rare case of wasp showing gratitude, possibly. It's very French, the food. We had hornets in the roof once. Ugh. We lived with them for the summer. They never attacked us, and in the autumn they flew away. Well, awesome. I mean, I don't mind if something doesn't like come near me and then leaves, and doesn't cause too much damage. That's okay. I mean, I'm fine with that. I just don't want to have them in my face and like being a problem. Oh, we can include moths into like the awful insects thingy, because those are pretty awful. Yeah, it is kind of messed up, but it's also kind of what nature is. Yeah, I try not to kill bugs that I find in here. Like I collect them up in a container and I put them outside. Oh man. Steve, if you have another slice of tiramisu, have a bite for us, please. And enjoy your tea. I drank a lot of tea, and we are drinking a lot of tea lately, but I have a coffee for the stream because it worked well last time, so let's keep at it. Well, moths are the big ones are really awesome. The ones that eat wool and that makes hole into things are evil. Those are gross, like the tiny little ugly ones that just destroy things. But the big moths is a word that I can say, that have like really interesting fluff and wings, and like the big ones are awesome. The teeny tiny ones that eat wool are garbage. Yeah, I used to be terrified of spiders, but it's been like 15 years that I live with spiders. So now I see a spider, and unless it's like unexpected, I just go like, oh, and I pick it up, and the thingy. I wouldn't touch it with my hands because I don't like bugs that much, but just put it outside and that's done. We do the same with this cutigera we find, and millipedes. Oh no. Oh, we are running out of tissues though. I learned how to make both of these dishes in the SCA, Recreating the Middle Age. What is SCA for? Sydney's in charge of moths and spiders in this house. She does a fine job. Well, both of mine, they will like just mess up the spiders and then leave them to agonize, which is not cute, not a good look. And they don't eat them. I think they find like all the legs kind of gross. And when there are moths, they might paw at them, but I haven't seen them like actively seek them out. They do like silverfishes though, especially Pecco. I don't think Scout cares much about the silverfishes, but Pecco really likes them. Moth phobia. Yeah, I'm with you. Closed moths are a nightmare. I have so many cedar things everywhere now, and I still find places where moth ate through certain things. And it's to the point where I really keep in mind now that when I buy things, if it has natural fibers or not. Because I gotta keep in mind that if the moths can get to it, I might be better off not getting it. Society for Creative Anachronism. Oh, that's great! That sounds like so much fun, actually. Woodlouse are small and disgusting. What are those? What are woodlouse? I did find moth larvae in my... Ugh, bleh. Ugh. Like, nope, 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 nope. My old cat used to chase cabbage moths. Oh, that's adorable. Yeah, oh my gosh, cats will go really, really far if they can get a free snack. A historical reenactment group preserving the arts, crafts, and practices of the Middle Ages. That sounds amazing. Oh, wow. I kind of want it. This is the kind of thing that fascinates me, like keeping alive the old ways, old crafts. It's not something that I can really do myself, but I find it fascinating to watch. Like, there's a lot of it also stemming from Japan. Like, all the various ways they do prints on paper, on fabric, the way they do certain types of ceramic, or like all this really historical stuff. It's so fascinating to watch, and it's also kind of depressing because sometimes it's like, oh, this sir or this lady, they're the very last artisan crafter of this stuff, and you're like, no, don't let it disappear. Don't let it go away. Isn't there anybody out there who would want to learn this stuff and keep it? Oh, I'm always a bit bummed out because I'll do it. Pick me. But it's literally on the other side of the planet, so it's a bit more difficult than one would think. We call the bench eaters, and they're pretty much our mud. Are those pill bugs? Are woodlouse like pill bugs? Phoebe says, one time I found my Dachshund attacking and killing a giant cricket in the dog bed while my other Dachshund hid in the closet. Greetings from Antir. Hold on, what is that for? Hey, son. Hi. I spent many a year in the SCA where I learned to spin wool. Oh, awesome. I hope you can't hear the weird noises outside. I think it's one of the neighbors being stupid with ice. People get really dumb with ice when it's spring. They're like, I can't see it anymore. I gotta put it all in the street and break it all apart, and I don't want any ice on my front lawn. And you're like, it's just ice. It's gonna melt. Chill, dude. Oh, and I saw like the first leaf blower of the season the other day, and I was like, no. grab a broom. What are you doing with the bloody leaf blower? It's one of the worst things. I really hate leaf blowers. They're so noisy and stinky, and they pollute, and it's not like, oh no, leaves, ooh, what am I gonna do? Nice to see you. I call woodlice roly-polies. Oh, they're the same. Oh, okay. Aw. Always found that, like... Well, I'm not gonna talk about bugs because I don't think Otto is big on bugs. I feel that way about languages. I always get so sad when I hear about the language. I agree. Antir is one of the SCA kingdoms. Oregon, Washington area. I got into calligraphy and scroll making led to watercolor. Cool. That is so cool. Neighbors, annoying people we're forced to deal with and occasionally socialize with. Very occasionally. Yep. Let's talk about food again. That was a great one. Anyone have any good dessert idea to make? Depends on what you have on hand. Did I manage to smudge it? Oh, I think that's just pencil line, okay. This is nightmare. I have anything on hand, my grocery store is 2 minutes away. I think chocolate chip cookies are always a classic you can't go wrong with. That needs to dry. We bought ice cream today. Ooh. It's too cold still here for ice cream. Tsukebu says, I go into the kitchen to take some meds. Napping pups grumble at me like, oi, you're waking us up. The nerve they have after waking us up at 3 a.m. Yeah, I do the same with my cats. When they grumble that I'm waking them up, I just like annoy them even more. Like, oh yeah, I'm waking you up? Hold on, I'm gonna put my whole face in your fur. There you go. Oh, pan, Pluto, and sticks. That's cool. But they just get boring. No, they never get boring. How could you... Chocolate chip cookies are classic. Are you guys fighting about who's nicer? That sounds very Canadian. Oh, good grief. Okay. So this is not my first Palomino Blackwing pencil sharpener, but it's kind of stupidly made. It's a really stupid sharpener. It works really well, and they recently redesigned them, so I was hoping for something a bit different, but the hinge of the plastic lid, if you keep on opening and closing to remove the shavings, this will break, and then the lid really doesn't hold in there as well. And I'm like, this is kind of a stupid design. Why did you go for this? Either you make the reservoir bigger so it can accommodate more shavings, but otherwise, why not make it a thing that is long lasting instead of this thing? I have another I have a previous model Palomino Blackwing sharpener, and yeah, it has this, the cap gave up like really early on. Oh, pencil sharpener is ASMR. Crunch, 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 crunch. I find that rooibos tea, like plain rooibos tea, tastes like what pencil shavings smell like. Tastes like wood. And I'm always like, why? Even when I try I tried some caramel rooibos and it still only tasted like pencil shavings. There's only the chai rooibos tea that is actually good. Have you seen the super fancy pants sharpener Jacksons were promoting this week? I don't think I have. Trying to think if I saw them. Which company made them? It's totally not a nerd. Good thing you're not. Does anyone else's cat try to drink their dirty paint water? Yeah, I kind of always put a cover on it. Turmeric as a sanded wood kind of taste. It really does. It really, really does. I call turmeric like neon yellow. Hey, does this recipe call for some neon yellow in there? And I try to only use as little as I need. Because you're right, it does taste like sanded wood. Styx the rock band. Are those three rock bands? Is there a Pluto, a Pan, and a Styx rock band? Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto Domo. I kind of need to take a fresh look at that song and to see if it's like terrible, and I never took notice. It's a bit like Africa from Toto. Like you just sort of hear it, and especially since I'm mostly speak French, sometimes I just listen to songs and I really can tune out all the lyrics if they're not in French. But I took a moment of pause the other day because I was like, hold on, I gotta check the lyrics for Africa from Toto. And I read the lyrics and I was like, oh dear, that didn't age too well. Draws a tree wearing sandaled wood. Ah! That's excellent. Well, sandalwood is a thing. It's often found in incense. But I would much prefer to have a sandaled wood. Yeah, sandalwood incense. If I had time, space, and all of that, I think I would look into making my own incense. Because I think it would satisfy this this desire I think we all have to like grind things together and mix it up and create something like where the handling is really, really involved. It's a bit like making paints in that regard, but possibly less messy. Possibly, I said. Possibly. But yeah, it's a bit expensive to gather up all the ingredients you need. And a lot of the resins, the natural resins, some of them are a bit more difficult to acquire ethically. Because they're kind of using up the reserves way too fast. I'm gonna have that stuck in my head now. Well, I'm not the one who wrote it in the chat. You know. Oh no. Sorry. Whew. You know when you sneeze and the nerves in your back seizes up? It's not a fun feeling. Sorry, my RPG group was big on puns. I'm incorrigible. Do not encourage. Ah! No, I mean, I'm gonna encourage you. I love puns. Oh, is it the, like the brass sharpener that you can fit into a base and it's basically like a plane for sharpening things? Thank you. I think I saw those and they were like $100 for a pencil sharpener, and I'm like, ah! When am I rich? Yeah, the dab emoji is really on point for the current situation of sneezing and coughing in one's elbow. Yep, $55. That's almost $100 Canadian. I mean, no. No thanks. You can get a really fine pencil sharpener for 99 cents, so just saying. It's a beautiful object, but yeah, definitely not aimed for most of us. Dab, destroy all bacteria. Oh, that's cool. That's really nice. Though it is virus, so. Some younger kids are taught elbow etiquette that way. That's a clever idea. That's a really clever idea. Oh, that reminds me. When I was waiting outside the grocery shop yesterday, there were another few people like in the same situation as I. Like their spouses went into the grocery store and they were stuck waiting outside. And I was just like, we were trying to maintain a good social distancing thing going on, and one of the other person waiting there was a man, and he was like pacing a bit back and forth, and at one point he really loudly coughed and didn't even try to like put his something in front of his mouth while coughing. Do you want to take a guess at what kind of demographic that dude was? just for kicks and giggles. Yeah, I do the shirt thing too. Though it might come with a prize. Yep, you guys nailed it. I mean, come on. Try. This is so baffling. Supposedly it's one of demographics the more at risks too. And the dude was just like that. Oh, that 55-pound sharpener on Jackson's is out of stock. Perhaps they only had 2, and they sold them to the same person who bought the sterling silver sterling silver schminke set that they had at some point. Probably while he glares at the one Asian person in the queue. Yeah, I don't live in a very how can I say that? Montreal has kind of a like regroupments, and this specific spot where I live, it's more like hold on, I'm trying to think. There's a lot of boomers. It's a lot of Italians. It's a lot of North Africans. We don't have a lot of Asian people in this like tiny part of the island. But he was glaring at everyone. And yeah, I'm really sorry it has happened to you, Otto. Like, don't you want to smack these people on the back of the head and be like, dude, where are your manners? Like, nobody taught you how to be a decent human being. What the heck? Amisha, you're fine. You don't have that boomer energy, so you're good. Oh yeah, he was painfully white and boomer. And I mean, yeah, you're right. Ellen says, Otto, I'm so sorry that's happening to you. It's barbaric. It really is. Like it's kind of. Otto says, I get that people are acting in fear. I do still wish it was legal to punch them, though. Oh man, yes, sir. I would want to punch them too. No, well, not all boomers have that boomer energy going on. Which I'm super grateful for, because that would be hell to live in. But those who do, usually they hit hard. They hit really hard. And it's like, I'm just baffled that so many people, even young ones, I mean everyone, like people don't necessarily get that it's not just about them. Like they don't live alone on an island somewhere. It's about everyone. And people expect you to do your part because that's what a society is all about, I think. Yeah, I spoke to my dad, and he was a bit nonchalant about it, but my dad is kind of an hermit too, so I'm not too worried about it. The few activities he had got cancelled because they were like in places that got closed. So he's pretty much like doing his stuff. No, there are some really, really nice boomers. Those that don't deserve the appellation of boomer. The thing that kills me is they're the type to not cover their cough and then yell at Otto if she gets within 12 feet. Otto would probably not be openly coughing up. Otto, who is a really sensible, sensitive, and caring human being, despite being an introvert, and all of that, and being super careful about things, and you have these really not nice people who do all sorts of really, really awful things that... You just want to... I'm just baffled. I'm like, really? Did you just do that? Really? What year is it? Why? Get away. Yeah, that's another thing. Oh, good grief. Otto, I'm so sorry. Ah. I swear, if I had been there, I don't think I could have stayed nice to these people. The snark might have come out, or the lumberjack French, depending. Because it just drives me insane. That huge gap in cognition and logic. Best possible outcome, now be me the boomers who complain about millennials will understand how they feel. I don't know. It's kind of weird because some of the boomers who complain about millennials, they really mean like 20-somethings, and all millennials are like almost 40 and yelling at their boomer parents to stay indoors, so it's not the same. I think it will always be wrong. Mikey says it was wrong then and it's wrong now. Yeah, I mean, racism will always forever be wrong. I would be part of the protective circle around Dr. Otto, glaring right back at the person till they awkwardly went away. We would be like Otto's posse of glaring people. Like glare, 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 and when there's nobody to glare at, we talk about paints and colors. Yeah, flipping them off, gesturing at them. That would be really cool. Patricia says, this is the generation I grew up with, and I remember us protesting wars, fighting for gays. We were the first women's libbers. What happened? Very good question. No, what I mean... Lana says, don't say all millennials are almost 40. I have a few years to go and still feel young. Just the number lies. Yeah. I mean, we're all perhaps a bit closer to 40 than we are to 20. Put it that way. Misha says, put me on the front lines. I'm a white little old lady. It's really bad PR to commit violence on me. Ah, that sucks, Otto. Otto says, it just feels so strange because I have never been discriminated racially in the 30 years I've lived in this country. All of a sudden, I get it every time I go out. Ugh. She also says, however, I have also watched my mother turn into a racist monster. It's pretty scary. So I get what they're going through to make them behave that way. Yeah. I had to correct a few people from like our parents' generation too. Sometimes it's like huge flaws in logic. Like they're gonna say something in one sentence and then say the opposite in the second sentence, and you just have to sort of point out to them to really confuse them. Now we're not going to say anything about me defending myself. Yeah, it's really weird, and I don't know. It's like I don't know if it's something that we understand now and it's always been sort of there, or if it has changed. I'm supposed to be drawing, am I? I saw the image of I don't know if it's been debunked or whatever, but there's an image of that a journalist took of the U.S. president's like speech paper on his board thingy, and it was written like coronavirus, and you see that it's tracked off with a Sharpie and it's written Chinese on top of corona. And if it's true, I mean it's depressing. It's not even trying to pretend that he's not flaming the fire. Alex says, Otto, I'll go get groceries with you. Cough, cough. Oh, I'm so sorry. Cough. It's okay, I'm in healthcare. Cough, cough. Were you going to get that pasta? Cough. Excuse me, sir. You're in my path. Like, really over the top. If it's fear they want, I will bring them fear. Oh my gosh. I wouldn't do that in the US though. I'm really not looking forward to the next month of stats coming from all the most recent places where the virus took hold, because it takes some time. Like, since the incubation period is so long, and then everything is kind of like you know that so yeah, like, you get the first case and it can take like 2 weeks before you see just how bad it really is, and it takes some time. Like, since it's so long in incubation, like, many things can be dormant, and when they come out, it's like a huge bump in numbers, and you're like Did you hear about how one of Trump's aides called coronavirus as Kung Flu? Oh, good grief. Yeah, it's like they're trying to be racist. Nicole says, my dad was upset with me when I didn't greet him with a kiss on cheek. Then told my husband, I won't shake your hand so you don't get my germs. Hold on, what? Hold on. Time out. What? Oh, good grief. Hey, welcome back, Dan. Yeah, we know. Amisha says, to all our friends outside the US, Trump does not speak for all of us. I think for anyone who has followed it a bit, like, it's almost 50% people who voted for him and people who didn't vote for him. So quite obviously he doesn't speak for all of us. All of yous guys. Yeah, I know. Of course they're trying to be racist. It's a political maneuver. Otto says, remember Trump was voted into office by people who wanted a wall built. Yeah, I know, but I think it was more of a rhetorical question. Oh, perhaps it wasn't a question. I don't remember what I said. But I mean, it is awful, and yeah, it's bad enough that it's so obviously racist and bad, but they don't even try to hide it. And I'm like, what am I supposed to... depressing. Because we have Boris Johnson. Though he caught the virus, so he cannot go around saying it doesn't exist and it's just a flu and it's gonna be fine by Easter. That's a teeny tiny thing that... A few days ago, Trump was asked if he'd lift sanction tariffs as part of the relief effort. He responded with, listen, we built a big, beautiful wall. I think too. I agree with you, Alex. I also feel like Bojo is smarter than he looks. And I also feel like Trump is not smarter than he looks. Just my impression. I know that all sorts of people, all sorts of mindset, but that's kind of the feeling I got too. I saw a video at one point that was sort of elaborating on that aspect of it. How I'm not saying he's a genius, but I mean the bar is not very high, and there were things like how he would on purpose keep his hair really messy, because that, in a way, made the people he deal with take him as less of a serious threat, while he can possibly, like, it gives him more place to maneuver because people assume that he's a simpleton or something. Anyway, it was an interesting video. But, I mean, all politicians. Do you guys remember when Trump announced his stupid wall? How everybody kept coming up with the scene in Pacific Rim where they tried to build a wall to keep the kaiju outside of somewhere. And they're like, we build a big great wall, and you see it's filmed as like news footage. They're filming the wall, the anti-kaiju wall, and you see a kaiju just go through the wall and not give pause at all, just like as if that wall is gonna do anything. It's like it's not a solution. It might have worked like 2,000 years ago, but not now. Anyway. They've already started saying Dr. Fauci is like part of the deep state. Is lying. Is Dr. Fauci the one who had a hard time not laughing when something really dumb was said in a news conference somewhere? Is the guy who started laughing and then kind of covered his face and pretended he was not laughing? Pretended he was not laughing. Bleh. I've read that about Johnson too, which suggests that he hacks on purpose and tactical. I don't know. Smart or not, his dad went on TV, on live TV, to say the dad, will go to the pub if he wants to. That was the day after his son was telling people to stay home. That says a lot about Boris as a person. Yeah. But, I mean, at least he told people to stay home. He's not the one who told people to go to the pub. Which is kind of a teeny tiny bit a bit better. I saw that, and is it really a law that people can access the pubs? Okay, so it was Dr. Fauci. Oh my gosh. Poor guy. He tried so hard not to laugh. I mean, I say poor guy, he might be a bad person, and I don't know, but it's not that kind of poor guy. It's just... Yeah, he was choking on a lozenge. Of course. That's what I would say too. Oh no, I was choking on my chewing gum. You know. Yep. Sure. Why not? I'm further from 40 than 20 years. Ah, Stephen. Trump said the State Department noted deep State Department and Dr. Fauci had the... Yeah. Oh my gosh. I don't... So many questions, guys. So many questions that will probably never be answered. And I really should be drawing more, I guess. Oh man, I felt so sorry for Dr. Fauci. I know, it's all right. The lovely era we live in, yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be quite something. I kind of feel bad for, like, everyone in the sense that every time a new year starts, we're all like, yay, a new year! Whew, we finally finished the dreadful year that was before. Perhaps this one will be a bit better, and we're always also hopeful, and things like go south within 2 days of the new year. It's just like, and like it can't be worse, can it? And then like stuff happens, and we're like, oh my gosh, what? Come on, please. Phoebe, I think you can call Otto Otto. It feels really weird to see Otto addressed as Kano. I'm always like, yeah, Otto is an honorary millennial. Otto says, well, you know how people predicted in the future we'll all be working at home, not going out at all, and only food delivery trucks going around on the street? That's pretty much what's going on right now. That's the point. You're a Malex? Exilenial? You don't know the categories. Stephen is born 1956. I think that puts you in the boomer generation. The baby boomers. Hey Carolyn, hi. I feel like my mouth is mush, and I'm speaking as if I had mashed potatoes in there. Alex says, but I stand by my previous statement. Otto, I'll go grocery shopping with you. I'm Scot Irish. They won't even realize I'm a foreigner until I start yelling. I think I could blend in quite well too, and until I open my mouth and say stuff. Like, we would be the perfect bodyguards. Like the posse. Because we would blend in perfectly. And then when we open our mouth, it's like, rah! Foreigners! Yeah, we talk about try not to go too deep into politics, because it can be really, really difficult to keep things civil then. But yeah, kind of just talking a bit about it, and we have plenty of boomer people that are super awesome in this community. But there are also boomers out there that really like don't give their fellow boomers a good name. Xillennial. That's the word and proof that I am not 100% millennial. Yeah, I agree. Ellen says, I still maintain that technically generations are largely a human construct, but they can help categorize. Adam Conover from Adam Ruins Everything has a great talk about it to marketers. Yeah, I agree that it doesn't mean much, but it's kind of a way to figure out like at what kind of period someone was born and what they possibly had to go through. That was a British accent, yeah? Hold on. Well, she has a British accent and a tiny bit of a Japanese accent in there. A teeny tiny bit. Love the idea of aggressive Otto posse. Hey, Stevie! I'm sorry. It's almost 2 hours in the stream, so my English is kind of slipping. I have long thought there is a real rift between generations today, and I remember the original one in the 60s. Today seems even worse. What do you mean, Caroline? Like the difference in generations? Caroline says partly due to technology. Oh yeah, possibly. Yeah, I agree. Mikey, very well put. Mikey says it's just an interesting thing, the social construct of generations, and who decides to identify with their generation or not. It's really, really interesting. And I like also how, what is the process of living through new generations, and you see yourself like I'm a millennial. I'm always like stupid 20-somethings and like kids, and I'm like, oh no, oh no, I've stepped into that area of like there are enough generations after me that now I'm annoyed at young people, and I'm all like, they're all noisy and they're always irresponsible, and not all of them, but you know what I mean. I was wondering what are the issues against the boomers. It's ironic that racism is one since they were supposed to be the first one against it. But I think it's not uncommon to get more conservative as we age. That's a good point, Carolyn. And I think it's just that... I think it's many things. And I think it's a thing that is possibly present in every generation, but that is kind of more remarkable right now, because there was a lot of baby boomers in that generation, so a lot of people, and the way things have evolved and changed from then till now, I think that leads to a lot of people from that generation not being up to date, and then that leads to a bunch of weird situation where you try to explain something to a boomer and it just like escapes them completely. Goes from technology to social issues. I can only speak for myself, of course, like the interactions I've had with the people I know from that generation. And we all fear we're beginning to sound or dress or look like our parents. That's absolutely true. Hey, ain't me. Hi. I think this generation thing is based on how those people lived in that generation. The boomers lived through big changes in the world. Yeah, but the thing is that changes are still happening. But it's like past a certain age we stop reacting to them and we kind of wish it would stay as it was. So maybe... So I don't know. It just... Sometimes it's really... it's bummer to see that, to meet that wall of incomprehension and conservatism from people we know that are from that generation. And like I said, there are huge gaps in the way they treat certain subjects. Sometimes you have to sort of tell them that well, you can't really think this thing for this group of people and then think that thing for that other group of people. I mean, it's all people, and the difference you perceive between the two groups is not a real difference. But yeah. Work hard, your company will reward you. That's so not a reality anymore. Alex says, I've met people impossible to reason with. They come in all ages, shapes, sizes. Agree. But darn, some boomers make it hard. They really do. Millennials generally accepted that they are replaceable. Many boomers haven't. Work hard, your company will reward you. We were the idealists who had their bubble crash hard. Well, millennials had their bubble like destroyed too. I've said it before, like you start your career and you basically follow into what people older than you have told you about having a career, and it's going to be for your whole life, and it's going to be awesome, and blah blah blah, buy a house, have kids, have a car. And that did not really happen, and then there was a big depression. Like the 2008 thingy that affected so many people from my generation, and into finding work became more difficult, and like opportunities for careers were disappearing or didn't make any sense. Like they were looking to hire people, but they would ask that you have experience. Like if every place asks for experience, how are you supposed to get that experience to begin with? Like there were so many weird things happening that didn't make any sense. How about the human is a human is? That's what I try to always bring forth, because that's kind of how I feel. I feel like there's a lot of things we sort of categorize for nothing. But yeah, it's just difficult, because I also understand why do you think like that, but to me it doesn't make sense, and sometimes you just can't change their mind. Phoebe says, I grew up with technology like iPads and I'm still terrible at them. I'm still terrible with technology too. Though I'm always late. I never have technology when it's hot. So I get to it and I feel like a boomer. How does this work? Where's the start button? Hello, crash of 2008. Millennials got badly messed around. I'm glad you think the same. Sometimes I say that stuff and some people will dismiss it as like, we are just complaining. And I'm like, am I? Is it? Like, it was, I don't know. I came to realize that it was somewhat of a big thing much later on. And there was a lot of internalizing of this, is it my fault that things are not going like my parents said? Is it because I'm not good enough? Is it because I didn't work hard enough? That's a serious topic. I think we should get back to food. What's for dinner tonight, guys? Or breakfast or lunch? Let's share nice things we've been doing for others and inspire each other to send out even more kindness. I agree. I agree, Otto. It's been a long time. Living your Instagram of cats. Do you mean my main Instagram or the one I have from my cats and me? I haven't updated my phone since I got it. Yeah, I was very late. The first cell phone I had, it's gotta be about 12 years old, 10 to 12 years old now, and it's a really old phone with like buttons, and not a smartphone, a not smartphone, a stupid phone. And I just needed something so I could place a call, you know, something really basic. And I didn't have the hundreds of dollars for a smartphone, so I got a stupid phone. And then I got my first smartphone 5-6 years ago, and it's getting a bit like old. But I mean, how am I supposed to find the money to change phone that often? What the hell, people? How am I supposed to make that happen? And I see some people like have the new iPhones whenever they come out. And I'm like, dude, you must have a great job. Okay, so what's for dinner, you guys? Tsikabu says leftover Pizza Hut for my dinner, awesome. Dan says toast, I approve. Lana says salad, you are brave. Otto says, hold on, something nice that Otto has done. I'll go first. I've made up envelopes with some cash and a few packs of alcohol wipes. Oh no, I missed it! Come back, hold on. Where is it? Where is my cursor? Where is it? Okay. Envelopes with some cash and a few packs of alcohol wipes and written thank you and stay safe. Been ending it to delivery people when they come to our apartment. That is so awesome. Wow. I'm also impressed that you still have alcohol wipes. Oh, my illustrations. Thank you so much, Amy. Phoebe says, we're making burgers with fries and I'm making fried mozzarella sticks for dinner. Whoa. That sounds amazing. I've been stress eating Oreos this week. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can relate to that. Ellen says, we're doing homemade pizza crust and the style chopped salad. Chopped style salad? Sounds good. Mikey says, I've been digging me some cottage cheese. You are brave too. And watching a lot of... Oh, Gru! Okay. Nope. I can't. There are a few things that I have very low tolerance for, and that's one of them. So I'm not gonna finish that sentence. Sorry. I apologize, but I can't. Oh, good grief. I'm pretty sure I visibly change color when I see those channels. Just see them like from afar. Ugh. Otto says, I also sent a hamper to my favorite online yarn shop because they're working so hard to get their overflowing orders done and get yarn to all of us. Aww. You're too kind. That's really awesome. I miss my old AudioVox phone. It was little and not invulnerable. Oh, I agree. Ellen, that's a good point. I dropped mine a couple of times and it got a bit scratched on the surface, but it was not the worst for wear. And also it was made from recycled plastic, which I thought was kind of cool. Not even a flip phone, just a tiny brick. Oh. Oh. Ah. Oh my gosh, chat kept going. Hold on. Because you are eating salad. Lana, you're brave because you're eating salad. Oh, Asian style salad. Okay. Ooh, blueberry muffins. I second that. Oh, it's okay, Mikey. I can just not read sentences if things get too hardcore for me. All of us are hoarding yarn. Alex says, I've made extra donations to the pet shelter I support most. Ah, my partner made extra donations to food pantry. Oh, that's really awesome. It makes me happy too. Patricia says, I have a huge bag of yarn tucked at the back of the closet that I might dig out this week and sort through. Oh, that sounds like fun. And thankfully there won't be any moth inside. Because moth, ugh, ugh. I don't mind salad as long as I don't have to make it myself. But then again, there are so many things that I love that are not salad. Oh, that's so cool! Alan says, another good thing, Alan Doyle, formerly of the band Great Big Sea, did mini concerts from home all week and raised $100,000 for Kids Help Phone Canada. Yay! See, that's a good thing. That's not like a bunch of rich people singing Imagine. That's actually good stuff. And inspiring stuff and positive stuff and uplifting stuff. I think my neighbor with the shovel is sort of begging for it to be stuck into his bum. Oh no, ice, I gotta pummel all the ice and put it in the street so it melts. Oh no. Hey, can you guess what type of person my neighbor is? Especially given circumstances, people are surrendering pets a lot right now. What? Why are people surrendering pets? Oh, awesome. That's good. Amisha says that Baumgartner Restoration has raised almost $57,000 in 2 days to buy masks for Chicago. Yay! Alex says the shelter I usually donate to has reduced costs, spay-neuter clinics, the Catmobile if you will, and is one of the less than 10 in this quadrant of the country to take feline leukemia. Ooh, so money, yeah. So many people have their jobs disappear overnight. I understand that, but oh my gosh, to be to the point where you have to surrender your animals, how sad is that? I cannot fault you for prioritizing feeding your child over feeding Fido. I cannot imagine having to make that choice ever. No, me neither. But I cannot take in every Fido I see, and the shelter's all cancelled. Yeah. No, I agree. I think that's a really good idea, but it's just so sad. And the Chateau Hall cancelled the orientations. They're as isolated and... Yeah. No, I absolutely am for giving to food pantries, food kitchens, soup kitchens, like everything that helps people who really need it right now. It just makes me really sad. Because I try to imagine being in that situation, and it is really sad to be at that point. What a sad choice to have to make. Oh, I'm so sorry, Stevie. Hold on, cancel everything. Amisha says, I learned this morning that my son has seen the feral cat that lives under my house. It's a tortie. You have a tortie. Is she being fed by the whole neighborhood or something? I mean, it takes having one to end up that way, but I really have a soft spot for torties now. They're so silly. And grumpy. And very silly and grumpy. And so temperamental. I kind of have a lot of fat reserves too. I could probably manage for a bit with less food if I had to. That's also really nasty. Selling things much higher because there's demand for it. I know that's technically how it goes, but it says a lot about anyone who's willing to go that far to make a buck. Did you really name your cat Keanu, Amy? My cats are fat and spoiled. I want your cats to also be fat and spoiled. I agree. Are you having rat problems, Dan? Did you guys see the photos of San Francisco where the coyotes have started going into the city? Because there's no car, there's no traffic, there's no noises, there's no people. So coyotes are adventuring into the city, and there are pictures of them like walking on the sidewalk, walking in the street, sleeping in like lawns or like flower beds or something. All three rats are typing. Aw. Amisha says, I am not sure, but I hear her under my house, and it's clear when another animal invades her space. But she will not let anyone come near, and my son has not seen her face, just her back half. You know what? If I didn't know it was a tortie, I would have possibly suggested that it might be a tortie, because they are temperamental, and females are supposed to be, like, general female cats are very territorial. So if you have a tortie that's necessarily a female on their house. She's not gonna let anyone else come into her spot. But I hope she has enough to eat. Like, I hope there's something to hunt out there for her. It's funny, very funny when I call for her. Aw. They're juveniles, so have way too much energy and don't sit still. Oh, nice! Patricia says the Premier of Ontario today put in a law against price gouging. Immediate $500,000 fine and 1 year in jail. If you are a corporation, it's many millions and longer jail time. That will teach you to be a decent human being, guys. Oh, Malvina says, I had a lot of bird guests recently and even one boar. Whoa, cool. Did you manage to take a pic? That sounds epic. I'm so glad we still managed to do the grocery yesterday. I went the route of telling Mr. E to grab a 1 kilogram jar of peanut butter. So worst case scenario, we can have like peanut butter sandwiches and not have to wander to the grocery store for a while. It's not gonna be amazing, it's not gonna be inventive, but it's better than nothing, and it's just not a great time to be spending a lot of time in the grocery stores. No one's having fun there. Especially not the poor staff. Oh wow! Amisha says, well, this is the first time in 5 years I have not had an invasion of mice over the winter. Whoa, so Kitty is doing a really fine job. Alexis says, she's earning her keep. Keep her. I agree. She's a keeper. She's doing her job. She's a good mouser. It's not a matter of me keeping her, but I will not run her off. Aw, I'm glad. Aw, the boar didn't want to pose. Too bad. Right. Hey guys, today it took me 3 hours to break all the ice and put it in the street. Oh, I still have coffee left. Ooh, it's gonna be cold. I'll go get some water for painting. He chased my cat, but I think they were playing because my cat was not afraid of him. Oh, how big was the boar, Malvina? Those can be pretty huge. Alright, be right back. What the fuck? T'as l'autre camion de côté qui me fait pour de glace pour la casser dans le mur. Peut-être on entend bien la salle de bain. Son frère qui taille une ruche. Ok. Je sais. Hey Marla, hi! Thank you so much for your suggestions of drawing. I took inspiration from them. I also wanted to draw one where the cats... where the cats... where a farmer cats give another cat eggs. But I didn't get to that one, and I want to paint a bit before finishing the live stream, so... Think of the awesome exercise he's getting. He's probably got cabin fever. At least he's not going out into the community. Ice chopping is a great way to burn calories. I don't mind the ice chopping as much as this sort of frenzy to put it in the street so it melts. Like if the guy was just breaking it apart on his lawn so it melts faster, I don't think I would mind it as much. But it's this idea of like, I gotta get all the snow away from my lawn, and I'm like, what? So your super suburban grass can grow? Hi. I really don't like grass. On its own, it's fine, but as a lawn thing, it bothers me so much because it's not the best, and people always waste so much water to try and maintain it, and I'm like, it's not efficient. We are in a city. We shouldn't be using it. We should be using more intelligent plants to cover our lawns, but no, people are like, it has to be grass, and I'm like, no. It's not even cute grass. So Malvina says, like a boar, about 120 centimeter tall, regular boar. Oh, that's tall. That's not much shorter than me. Yikes. We need a drink that tastes best at room temp instead of our coffee tea getting cold and our soft drinks getting warm. Oh, that's a good point. Is there anything that is good at room temperature? I'm with Alex here. I really hope you can keep the mouser cat, Amisha, or that she doesn't go away. And that she gets used to you guys and you can see her a bit more often. If you ever have like meat leftovers that you're not gonna eat, you could always like put them somewhere where she could get to them and eat them too. Usually food is a good way to create a bond with feral cats. Because they're not dumb. I know, it's great, isn't it? Hold on, I'm just bummed because I thought I had painted a reference card for these colors, but I can't find it, or I don't have it there. I also forgot to draw a shirt line on the cat here. And then I'm gonna forget and paint over those. That's Magello Mission Gold. The 12 pan palette. Water is fine at room temperature. It's not like no one is thirsty. Well, very few people are thirsty for room temp water, but it's drinkable. But I'm never like, oh, I could do with a glass of room temperature water. That doesn't happen. I was just putting in an extra can of tuna. Oh, oh, yay. Makes me so happy. You know, she's gonna appreciate it a lot. I mean, that's just says a lot if a thing like that doesn't warm your heart. Obligate carnivores, yeah. And when you see her just sing, "We are family," until she follows you inside. Hey, Kukats and Jen, hi. Where did you find your palette? This one is from eBay. It's not a good time to go check it out over there because with everything that's going on, it's a bit difficult. But if things settle down eventually, you can find a Magello product from Korea for a really decent price on eBay. Like, people will sell them at a much better price than what you can find on Amazon. He didn't want to socialize, probably he heard about the... The boar was like, nope. Nope. Oh, you have the 24 palette. 24 pans palette. Whoa. From Magello? That one sounds awesome. I got the small one because I really like the color selection in this one. It has just the kind of colors I like. And Magello colors are always so super bright that you can't really be disappointed at them. I'm just gonna quickly paint some little reference sheet that I can keep with the palette. I usually try to have one that I leave either taped to the palette or in the box, but I sort of forgot for this one. Carolyn says to Amisha, maybe you could put some sort of webcam under your porch to watch your tortie. Oh, have one of those inexpensive security cameras. The cat cam. Phoebe says, my grandmother has 4 cats in her yard and they cry for her until she goes and feeds them in the evenings. Yep. Sounds like a cat. I can't keep her inside though. Oh yeah, but just, you know, not necessarily keep her inside, but I don't, if she's a real feral cat, she won't want to be kept inside or for any length of time. But it's a bit like if you have extra thingies that could be used as a bedding, or kind of like as if you were having a tiny mouse or a roommate. Got it ages ago. It is long. Is it really? Is it much longer than well, if it's 24, so it's about twice this. Yeah, that's a long and narrow palette. Yeah, the colors are amazing. Look out! It's super intense magenta. It's like punch you in the face bright. Yeah, we like that. We like punch you in the face bright. There's a purple. But she can live under my house for as long as she wants, even if I never get to serve her cattiness directly with scritches and paws and pats. Aww. Yeah. I mean, if like any old house have some sort of mice problem, she's gonna be happy. She's gonna be like, oh yeah, it is dinner time. She reminds me a bit of the neighborhood tortie. The one that was there, that came by during the last stream. because she's a bit like that too. She likes to hunt mice, and she brings it to her human, and he's always like, what am I supposed to do with that now? And she's like, well, it's a gift for you because you can't hunt. You don't hunt. How can you not hunt? Where's your food coming from? Alright. Awesome. I agree, right? Isn't this set, like, amazing? Ooh, pizza dough. It's a Magellan Mission Gold, the set of 12 half pans. It's kind of easy to spot because they don't have many sets of half pans, and the student range has a silver tin, and the gold range, the professional range, has this rose gold tin. So it's not like both have a black tin and a black box and you gotta figure out, make sure you get the right one. It's kind of obvious from a glance which one is what. We tossed an old towel into the crawl space for her around Christmas. Too bad. Oh. Yeah, too bad this COVID thing makes shipping from overseas difficult. I agree, Amy. And Amisha, I'm glad you tossed her an old towel. Is that still the chainsaw or is that the leaf blower? I'm glad. I love your roommate, Misha. Oh, I got many. I got these from like IKEA. Like they are the inexpensive. They're supposed to be like dish towels, but they're really inexpensive, and I have a bunch. And whenever they get too dirty, I just toss them in the wash, and I wash them up, and they will keep their stains, but I know they're clean. And I put them away in it's a bag that has a zipper, so no dust, no fur get into it. So there's a lot less hair on my rags. But I have quite a collection of them now. Your rag is terrifying. It looks like a murder scene. That's what happens if you at some point ever used like a really deep red, like pearline maroon with that. It's gonna be like really, really bad. Yeah, it is a really well bought. Let's take a moment to enjoy this palette, shall we? The 24 set has a white and a black. That's not a surprise. I'm glad that the 12 set doesn't. The 12 set of the student range, I think, has a black and a white. But the professional range, this is the colors you have in there. And so yeah, you get a split primary with a bonus magenta. Well, I don't know, it depends on what you consider your primary, but you have a sort of cool or neutral yellow, a warmer yellow. This one is kind of an orange. Then you have a red, a magenta. So with these three, you can either consider one like your warm red, neutral red-ish, and a magenta, which is kind of a good one for mixes. Purple, which is always useful. The two blues for the split primary. So the warm one in ultramarine and the cool one in phthalo blue. Two greens and two browns, which is like, whoa, what? Wait, what? This one is PBR7. I don't remember what's the name of the color though. Is it written on there? They have custom sized pans though, so it doesn't want to come out, but yeah. Good colors. Oh my god, the chainsaw. Apparently they're cutting off wood, like wood logs with the chainsaw out there. Mr. E provided more info. Apparently they're like breaking down a tree. Oh yikes, Phoebe, that sounds awful. Phoebe says, my neighbor had his carpets cleaned this morning for almost 3 hours. Woke me up and sounded like a plane flying overhead on loop. Ugh. Cutmen are problematic. That's like the most polite way of putting it ever. Yeah, the silver, the mission, the Magello mission silver is the student range, and the box is silver. I don't know why the mission gold box is kind of pink instead of actual gold, but whatever. I'll take it. Right. Oh, don't bother trying Cutman, did I? I think it's just that Daniel Smith is possibly a bigger company, so the paints are kind of everywhere, and they have like 200s, way too many colors. They're all lovely, but Daniel Smith has a huge selection of colors. M. Graham is a bit more limited, and yeah, they don't really have much in terms of magentas, which is a bit of a bummer. They need a good like PR 122. Like a really legit magenta like this one. I don't think they have one. They have quinacridone pink, I think, which is a PV19, but it's not, you know, it's not that magenta, the one that we all want. I assume. White Knight paints are also good. I mean, I don't think you'll find any professional paint that is absolutely dreadful. Finding a good student paint might be the harder challenge here, but there are some. But I mean, professional paints are usually all quite good, so it really depends on what your budget is like and how much you can spend on paints to figure out what you can get. Queen Fuchsia or Queen Lilac is PR. Trying to remember which one is this, but yeah, I think it's the lilac one. It's one of the recent additions, but yeah, Daniel Smith has it. I don't think M. Graham has it though. Carolyn says, Cutmen are student grade, I think, and I find they don't re-wet easily. They're like candle wax. That's so true. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Lucas Aquarelle set you sent me, Ellen, is amazing. Yeah, the studio set. Well, the tin you sent me. And I'm a bit confused as to why it's not more readily available, because it is a really nice set. Like it's a affordable, inexpensive set, a bit like the Aquafine one in look and format, but the color selection is so much better. There's a magenta in there in a student set. I lost my means when I saw that. Like, is this for real? A magenta? The Equifine set is also great, but it has a couple of issues with color selection. Like, the two blues are really similar, and I don't really find a use for that. Yeah, I don't think M. Graham has a PR 122. Perhaps someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's kind of a color that's really important. And I'm always like, but it's super consistent magenta color. Like, regardless of the brand that you get your PR 122 from, it's always always the same color. Unlike PV19, which can fluctuate quite a bit. Well, as far as I can tell, hold on. Ellen says, yep, that was the student grade. Lucas is distributed by a company called Heinz Jordan in Canada, and they're no Dick Blick, let me put it that way. Much smaller company. But at the same time, the paint they offer, like, that set is awesome. The brush you sent me from them were really good too. So yeah, I really don't mind that they have less stock if it's good stock. Melissa says, Sakurakoi was the first set I got, and I quit because I was so disappointed with my result. I thought it was me. I am so sorry you have to go through that. I would possibly say that Sakurakoi, while being kind of a chalky and student range, are possibly more targeted towards like illustration than actual watercolor painting, like the expressive kind, because they don't flow well. You cannot like let the water interact with them and have some awesome results. It's a bit more flat. So if all you do is fill in areas with colors and do something a bit more illustrative, they might work fine. Like, they might be, like, if you use good paper, they might do the trick. But if you want to paint a bit more and really treat them like watercolor, that's not gonna be good. Amisha says, I have to admit that my old Prang 16 set was a very good mix of hues, including a magenta. Awesome. How did it go in terms of application and quality? Oh, Lana, you're fortunate if your school paint set norms of primaries include magenta. All I've seen is that stupid red. Otto says, I can confirm that M. Graham does not have a PR 122 in their range. She just checked. Well, that's a bummer. That would be a really useful paint to have. We all need to write M. Graham and beg them to add it. We kind of do, don't we? So if we do, we have to be super nice with them because they really are awesome people. Like, they are some of the kindest people I've seen in this industry, so we gotta be super nice with them. No being mean to them at all. Ellen says, I've been told that the owner of Heinz Jordan is a bit temperamental. Maybe she was a tortie in a previous life. She can be a bit of a taskmistress. But she tries to bring good product in. And yeah, I'm super thankful for that. I could do with good products. I have to be off. Thank you so much for your... Oh, well, take care, Stevie. Be careful. Hobby Lobby's store brand small watercolor set is surprisingly good. Huh. I wonder what it is, like what it's from. I also have a Van Gogh small palette I like, and the Sennelier. Is it the student, like the La Petite Aquarelle? Because their student set Sennelier is not really awesome. The weird cake paint set you got from Coliro. Oh, interesting. Hey Alex, do you have a company, like furry company? They mix clean and are not streaky, the prang ones, but they benefit greatly from pirouetting and are dye-based, so not light fast. Yeah, but I mean, for practice, prang are super affordable and easy to find, so I mean, I'll appreciate that. Like, a set doesn't have to be expensive to be good, but if the set is not good, even if it's cheap, being cheap is not gonna save it. Tickle? Otto says, Arches, on the other hand, they're being a huge pain and making it really hard for me to get their help. Arches got back to me about the paper problem, but wanting to know 100 things about the papers I have, plus wants me to test all the sheets I have left to see if they have the same problem. They want you to put paint on all these sheets. They've also not said anything about actually offering me a replacement at the end of it. Yeah, that's a bit that's not impressive. How could you tell? Who's visiting you, Alex? I mean, you guys have got to be able to pick up that. In contrast, M. Graham wrote back to me immediately and sent me out a replacement immediately without question. Yeah, it took them a bit of a, like, perhaps my email got, like, stuck somewhere. It took a bit of time before M. Graham wrote back, but again, they did it, and in the end, it was no problem to work with them, and they were also one of the first brand who, when I reached out to them, back when my channel was even smaller, and I reached out to them and I was like, hey, this is what I do you sometimes do collaborations and all of that? And they wrote back and they sent me paint, and I was like a teeny tiny channel, and I'm like forever impressed that they were that kind and that generous and like really awesome people to contact and interact with. So that was really awesome. Yep, they want me to paint all the sheets I have left over. That's so stupid. It's like, yeah, but like that's creating a lot of waste. I mean, the paper might not be ideal for painting on it because of the paper issue, but it can still be useful for something. And if you paint over all these sheets, that's a lot of waste. Oh, Alex, that's so cute. That's a very valid point. Otto says, I agree, just replace the papers already. If you want to know the extent of the problem, pay to have the paper sent back to you. Don't make me test out all your faulty products. Yeah. I mean, it's not like the paper is not expensive. on the other hand, other paper companies like St. Cuthbert's Mill, I think it's them, like they're on Twitter and they're like super interesting to follow on Twitter because they show like their process and they have super awesome papers. Like I think they're a tiny company, or if it's not them, it's another company, but like it seems much nicer. While Arches, they feel kind of big and a bit like they don't care. Because yeah, if you reach out to them with faulty products and they reply to you that way, that's not interesting. That's not nice. And I mean, said by someone who enjoys Arches paper and uses it. This is Arches paper. Sorry. Our paper choices over here are so limited that I'll take what I can that works. Like perhaps if I had access to like Saunders Waterford or other papers at the same price point, I would try them and find them a lot more fun. But yeah, Arches is the most affordable and the easiest to find. I find that the Winsor & Newton paper is very similar to the way Arches is. Rope stick is best stick. Aww. My cats are really, really big on these play toy tents. And yeah, they've also always been really good fans. No, really interested in the toys that are basically a ball of mushy stuff with catnip in there, and there's a bunch of feathers, like it's a ball with feathers, and they really like those. Can you mix a PR 122? No, you can't. It is a magenta, and magenta is a color that is absolutely impossible to mix. I have been saving up my arches for when I get better. Now I'm just using Canson. Is your Canson paper cotton paper? So sorry. Oh my gosh, I swear. Dan says, I just realized Graham are millennials and archers are like super boomers. Aww. Hey, enjoy making the pizza, Ellen. That sounds amazing. Take a picture and share it on the Discord. Show us the pizza and the salad. Otto says St. Cuthbert's are amazing. If you write to them, they will send out sample packs of their papers. I don't know if they will do it for outside of the UK, but I love that they do it. And seriously, check out their Twitters. They show pictures, or their website. They show pictures of like the paper mills and the thingies and the people working on this stuff, and it's super fascinating. It is really, really nice. Dan says, I love Saunders. Their hot press is the best I've ever tried. Otto says, I love Saunders Waterford by St. Cuthbert. I think, isn't Saunders Waterford the paper that Holbein sells like in Japan? Is it Saunders Waterford that they sell over there? It's almost impossible to find here, so I would have to order it from Jackson's if I want to try Saunders. But it's expensive, so yeah. Also, I have a substantial stack of Arches paper. Did you check Jackson's, Carolyn? Bye, Alan. Have fun. Stay safe. Oh, that's so cute. Alex says his rope, talking about the cat, his rope stick was actually a free gift from the place that made their walking jackets. His favorite. It's a blue nylon rope on a stick. They always kind of like the simple stuff, don't they? Oh, Marchat says, I'm in New York and they sent me a sample pack. Oh, I'm gonna have to poke them. Everybody's gonna poke them and they're gonna be like, what is this sudden... Well, maybe not now because of everything that's going on, but they're gonna be like, what is this sudden rush of people wanting to try our papers? But yeah, just to address it, it's not a problem to practice on cellulose paper, but it can be a bit tricky when you move to cotton paper because you're gonna have to sort of learn a completely different surface to work with. So yeah, you gotta take that into consideration. If you have to learn how to paint again, is it really worth it to practice on cellulose? I'm not saying that it is or it isn't. I'm just saying that that's a question that's worth considering. Yeah, but they're made by St. Cuthbert's. Yeah, that's it. Like the Holbein Saunders Waterford paper is the same that is from Cuthbert's Mill, right? Because I've seen so many people use that paper and paint beautiful things on it, and I was like, huh. And meanwhile, I'm not painting enough, and it's almost been 3 hours, and I haven't painted all that much. I'm probably gonna finish those off stream. Marla says, I believe Jackson's often has free or next to free samples of St. Cuthbert's. I'll have to check that up. Carolyn says that she would have put her brush in my red mug 10 times by now. Yeah, that's why I put it to this side, and I'm really used to reaching left for everything, even if some people hate it because that means that my arm is under the camera. But I'm really not, like, this is not natural for me to reach right for my stuff, even if I could do it. But I think it's because that way I know I will never put my elbow in paint. Like, all my paint is this side and my elbow is the other side. Hey, bye Tsikaboo, have a great evening. Yeah, cellulose paper will make the colors look nice because they kind of stay on top of the paper. They never really sink in. So the colors stay super bright, super colorful. But if you want a layer, that's when it gets really dicey. It's a bit like gouache in the sense that the paint underneath will reactivate. So you gotta really be aware of what you're doing if you want to work on cellulose. I know that for me, I really struggle to make it work. I will use it for like practicing brush strokes or mixes because a lot of sketchbooks are cellulose and it's really difficult to find one that isn't. But yeah, I really need to get on my to get to the point where I can make my own sketchbooks at some point. I gotta check back Otto's video, and I think Kat from Meow Meow Kapow had also made one. But I'm just bothered because I don't know how to work around the fact that the watercolor paper has a side, and I don't really like painting on the wrong side of the paper. Like, it bothers me. The texture really bothers me, so... I use cellulose paper like a sketchbook now. Just sketch out idea, pick color combos, and rough. Yeah, that's a really good idea, Otto. To really like do tests and figure out color palettes on cellulose, and possibly have just, you know, like a scrap piece of cotton paper just to swatch down the mixes to see if they are as vibrant on cotton paper as they would be on the cellulose one, and do all the preparation work on cellulose because it's cheap, and then whoop, switch to cotton for the final. Caroline says yes, it was La Petite Aquarelle who was disappointed. It is a bit disappointing, honestly. It's not like, some colors are almost Cutman level weak and difficult to re-wet. Like the earth tones seem really difficult to work with. And I think that's not doing themselves any service by having that palette. Like for, I don't know if it's for a similar price, but you could get the Aquamini palette from Sennelier that has 8 colors, and you would probably have more fun painting with that than painting with the La Petite Aquarelle. And then you can always figure out like which colors you're really missing and get a few extra tubes and figure something out. But like their Aquamini set is really nice to use. The colors in there are super intense. You can use the wrong side to glue the wrappers in, swatch or sketch or write things down. No, that's not a bad idea. I could maybe use the wrong side to try out my color mixes before I paint on the right side. That would work. I find your 12 set of Mission Gold on eBay. Oh yeah, now is not the good time to look for it though. I didn't pay that much for it. It was less expensive, but I've noticed substantial change into paint sets that are sent from Korea. Everything has gone up in price a bit, and a lot of them now have not free shipping, like paying shipping. A lot of them had free shipping before, but I think with everything that's going on, the prices have sort of hiked a bit. So I would wait before buying. Anyway, it's not like I don't have enough paint. I'm good. It's all good. Hey, welcome back, Dan. What kind of tea did you get? I should really take some time one day to play with a set like this one and see just how I can mix up a color that is similar to yellow ochre. Sorry. It's kind of the yellow I use the most, like I've said, but it's not at all the sets. And I haven't played with this one all that much. Oops, that's not the green I wanted. Earl Grey. Ooh yeah. Good choice. Have a look at Stephen Quiller's Quiller wheel for exact. Ooh, oh, I will. I'll definitely check that out. Sounds like a really good place to start. That guy knows about mixing colors. I might also just decide to wing it. Trying to figure out which would be a way that I would remember the most about the mix that works. Would it be finding a recipe or finding it after trying a bunch of stuff that doesn't work. Oh, I will check that out though. Otto says, I think I might have demoed how to make yellow ochre from bright colors in my color theory series, but I can't quite remember. I'll check it. Oh, that's a good grab, Marchet. The pure pigment set from Magello is really nice. Comes in 2 versions though. Melissa said, I had to give one of our dogs a haircut yesterday. Today she's snubbing me. I called her to come, she looked at me and moved away. I called her again, she got up, went across the room and hopped up next to my daughter and stared at me. That's so funny. One time I did cut Scout's fur. Not a lot of it, but I was cutting Mr. E's hair, and she decided to jump on him as I was cutting his hair, which is definitely not ideal. So I took the hair scissors and I just trimmed a tiny bit of fur. And Mr. E was like, no, what are you doing? I was like, well, she's annoying. You gotta annoy her back, right? I am smudging all the green around from the tiny plants. The pure pigment version comes in you have like the American color selection, I would say, like North America, and then you have the Korean color selection. One of them has cobalt turquoise on it, or cobalt green, and the other doesn't. I think I got the reformulated version with dioxazine violet. Cool. That's a good color to have, honestly. Montval sounds way too much like mothball. I don't know if you're supposed to say Montval or in French like Montval. Hey guys, the chainsaw stopped and the dude pummeling Zyg's also stopped. Stop it. a bit of quiet. Otto says, see, when you say it in French, in that French way, it sounds A, nothing like mothball, and B, way more exotic and sexy. Do you have to pronounce canson French? Well, you can if you want. It is canson. Those sounds are apparently very difficult to say for someone who is not used to them. So, canson, Montval, Arche. Another one that is very, like, that I didn't know that was the way to say it until someone from Golden wrote to me. But Pirol, like what we almost always refer to as Pyrol, well, it's supposed to be said Pirol, like Pirol red, Pirol orange. The French version of Arche sounds like butt in German. Oopsie. Ah, jeez, I wanted to paint this. I wanted to paint this cat like Lee's cat, Neuron, but I don't remember what's the color of Neuron's eyes. It's like yellow greenish. Gav! Mr. E keeps on doing a really stupid joke over there. I said but. There are many words like that, and they always are funny. Like words that in one language mean something absolutely like really unimpressive, like something just super basic, and then in another language it's like very different word. Those never stop being funny. Well, you pronounce things well, Otto, and I think that knowing Japanese helps you with the pronunciation of French stuff too. So there's that. Yeah, what's Mystery doing with it? Ils veulent que je partage ta blague? Ouais, je vais essayer. It's a very stupid, immature joke that we do all the time, but it's whenever there's a loud noise out there, like some car honking or like any kind of noise. The joke is to say, "Oops, sorry," like you just farted. And what is funny is actually whenever it comes out really randomly. So yeah, that's the joke he keeps making over there, because someone outside either uses the chainsaw or is opening the water faucet outdoors, and it makes a sound in the pipes. So that's the stupid joke. I will understand if you leave. Just so you know, if you come to Germany and someone calls you Arsch, they don't mean the paper. Yeah, I figure. Oh yeah, fanny pack from, well, just, yeah, fanny pack from English, US English to Brit English is, it doesn't work. It just doesn't. Oh yeah, Fong too is I mean, I can understand why you would name those two things thongs, because they kind of have the same effect, just not on the same piece of the body. Lee's cat's eye look olive greeny. Thank you so much, Marla. Wow, that my French came out. Thank you so much, Marla. Yeah, whoa, it's been 3 hours and 20 minutes. I feel like the streams keep on getting longer and longer. Amy says butt cleavage and foot cleavage. Pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah, we have nothing but time now, that's true. Though you have to put up with me being more and more incoherent as the stream goes on. I'm trying to think what's the word we use for thong sandals around here. I hate those, by the way. Ugh. I hate those. Hate those. First of all, they contribute to waste a lot, because they never last for long, they get gross really, really fast, and they're super cheap, so people just buy new ones. And yeah, secondly, people wear them in the cities, which is super nasty because they get, oh yeah, flip-flops. Thank you so much, Melissa. Flip-flops. And yeah, they get so dirty real fast in the city, and like the feet in them get dirty, the freaking flip-flop gets dirty, like everything is dirty, and I'm like, ugh, gross. And yeah, and they break all the time, so you always find a random flip-flop like next to the sidewalk that someone abandoned there. Like if you want to wear flip-flops like to go pick up the mail or to do some yard, just to chill in your yard or go to your pool, fine. But to walk around with them in the city is really, really nasty. Ugh, 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 yuck. I always want to yell, "Those are beach sandals!" when I see someone wearing them. I'm like, those are pool sandals, though. Like, people wear them to go to the public pools, so... I mean, isn't it worse? Like, it means they get in the pool with their dark, like, full of city dirt feet. Blech. Flip-flops, those things that protect your feet when showering in a college dorm. Yeah, or when showering in, like, at the public pool. But to just, like, commute in them, I'm always like, ugh. Ugh. That's not gonna be a cute look. That green is really so bright. Like that's diluted and mixed with palette mix. And it's still like neon green. Amy says I live near the beach, so a lot of people wear them. What I hate is when I see people just walk around barefoot. Ew! Why? Oh, jellies. I always felt like the transparent... Are those the transparent shoes? But anyway, there's a type of plastic shoes that is like transparent, but the plastic looks kind of rigid. And I've always looked at those and felt like they would give you awful blisters. And I'm just like, ugh. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of plastic shoes either. I'm trying to think, do I have any plastic shoes? I think I have a pair of flip-flop that I use to check the mail in the summer. I've had them for a really long time though. I'm trying to think. Well, rain boots? That's it. I'm out of mixing. Blue, blue, blue. Rain boots are kind of always a good idea to have a pair. Are jellies often sparkly too, like transparent, possibly colored plastic with sparkles in it? Ugh, ugh. barefoot in the mall. Blah. Oh. Pico hair. Although you missed Pico, she was there for like the first 5 minutes of the live stream. Then she was like, nope, and she left. So you might have to rewind to the first 5 minutes of the stream. Oh, ew, ugh. I mean, feet are sort of supposed to sweat, like that's a known process of feet, so I never quite understood the appeal of plastic shoes. They are an excellent idea if you need to be able to sanitize shoes. So I think that Crocs for in certain hospital settings are a really nice idea, because you can just dip those in bleach and ta-da, sanitized. But yeah, to walk around, it's not a good idea. The parents like them too. Crocs, yeah, I can understand that. I can see that. At least Crocs are possibly made with a way to attach them to the foot. So what did I say? What did I say? What did I say? I know I said something, and there's such a gap of time. There's a gap of time, yeah, sure. There's a lapse between when I speak and when things get on the live stream. So more often than not, I don't remember necessarily what caused the reaction. Like right now. What did I say? Oh no, about Pico. Well, you can go back in time. You can rewind to the top of the stream. I'll see before I quit. I'll see if I can get her on screen for you. I'm glad you like it. It was inspired by it was suggested by Marla, and it was inspired by the fact that Lee on the Discord said that they suddenly were able to get a community plot to plant stuff, and that's nice, springy, and like it's in the mood. So I figured I would draw that, and the second drawing I did too, but I will not paint it today. I think I will paint it another time. But it is also something that Marla suggested, and that is inspired by things from the Discord, and it's about Lise, one of us, taking walks, and how it can be sometimes difficult when you have limited spoons to find the energy to go outside, but how it's also always a good idea to take a walk, even if it's a teeny tiny one. So that was the inspiration for that. So I will... Can I? No. Just put this there. I'm gonna sort things up a bit so that... Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go empty the paint water, and I'm gonna go see if I can grab a kitty cat and bring her back. So I'll be right back. Oh no, what are you going to do? si je réveille Pico?
Et Thérèse Péril.
Thérèse Péril, tu penses? L'auto est toute triste de l'avoir manqué tantôt. Je pense que je vais...
Salut! Allô? Viens avec moi? Viens avec moi. Viens avec moi, pousse un chat. Dis bonjour. Dis bonjour aux amis. Est-ce qu'on amène la deuxième caméra, Pex?
On va essayer de... Oh, compliqué. Ok, hold on, bouge pas, Pico. Bouge pas, ma minette.
Mais t'es ben trop cute.
Oh, tu dormais, hein? Yep. Oh, why is it so blasted? Why? Meanwhile, Pico is having a blast with the camera.
Qu'est-ce que tu fais, Minette?
Ah, tu te laves? There you go. Oh, she's insanely soft, honestly. Both cats are like super duper soft. And we're like, what? How is that possible? She was sleeping. And I woke her up and she went, boo! Well, she is named after the orange pecoti because she's orange. Hello. She really likes the attention, which is really funny. Hey, baby. Oh, ouais, c'est pas mal du tout ça. Otto loves you. Otto is sending all the love to you. Oh, you like it? Yes. Yes, you like it. She likes it. Hey, Minette. Oh, you named the dog after the teeth. That's really awesome. It's a good name for orange pets. I mean, Pecco, that's kind of neat. Qu'est-ce que t'as trouvé? Ah, t'as-tu trouvé l'élastique? Pas encore, ok. C'est bon. C'est pas pour les jolis élastiques. You're Otto's favorite kitty. Oh, yes. Oh, that's some good stuff, right? Oh, she's all happy. Ah non, t'as trouvé l'élastique. Non, moi, j'ai pas l'élastique. Non! Let's go, elle a trouvé l'élastique. Oh, you're breaking everything. Stop doing that. Pro. Oh, you should be able to see Pecco too. Oh. Arrête, il a enlevé ton élastique, grosse nouille. Everything on my desk is now Pecco's. She has a motor inside of her. Hey, Pipette. Coucou. No, Mom. Oh, I spy a second cat. Hello, Tuna Face. Salut, Scooty. Qu'est-ce que tu fais, Minette? Mom! Rub my head, Mom! Yes! It's the good stuff! Bonjour, Scoot. Qu'est-ce que tu fais, Minette? Qu'est-ce que tu fais? Non, non, non. Non, Scooty. Pouh! Oof. Pecco, you're shedding so much. Mine de temps. Face de temps. in lumberjack French, face de temps. Tuna Face. Papatin! Ah, she's losing all the fur in the world. She's still on the hunt for that elastic I removed. If she could find it, she would eat it. Yeah, you look super clever, Bex. Je t'ai trouvé. Mais non, mais y a rien. Oh, do! By all means, do! Van Gogh pens are awesome. Really good paints. T'en penses, poulet? Oh my god. T'arrêtes pas de perdre du poil. Yeah, she was trying to put her face in there. Like, everything Pecco does is with her face. She tries to open things with her face. She tries to get into things with her face. Again. With her face. Into my pencil case. I understand that the camera angle is a bit not ideal. She keeps moving around. Again, with her face. Petite face. Yeah, sometimes she will push things off of places with her face. But yeah, it's just really funny to see her go because the other day she wanted to go into their cage because we leave the cat carriers like there all the time. They're open, they can get in, they can get out, but sometimes the door they kind of, you know, not close like completely, but more closed than open. And Scout is capable of just, you know, with her paw, she will hook her paw in the door and open it. But Pico has not quite grasped that idea. So what she will do is she will try to push with her face against the door until it opens. Oh, cats, they really love tossing stuff to the ground. And then looking after the thing they just dropped and be like, it fell. Who would have thought? And you're like, seriously? Gravity is still kind of an obscure concept for you? Oh my god, I have cat hairs all over. That's a really good brush dryer. That's Steve Mitchell from Mind of Watercolor that mentioned it in his holiday gift guide, and it's really nice. It doesn't have that many spaces for brushes, but I think that for watercolorists it's fine. Dante is a nose pusher too, but he tries to open things with his paws, so he's a bit more clever than Pico. Pico is the cutest tool in the shed, but she's not the sharpest one. Right? T'as-tu de la visite?
Yep.
What's up? You know, if you put your face the other way, people could hear you purr. Oh. You're just a big loaf. She's trying to bite into the sea sponge. Qu'est-ce que t'as trouvé en dessous? Mais non, mais dégueu! Tu baves partout! No, Mom, stop! Mom! Alright, so do you think you guys have had your fill of Pecco? Brushes are not food, baby cat. So what do you say? Did you say, Mom, there's not enough fur on your table yet? Never. She's a good kitty. Unfair question. Oh, sorry. I hit the mic because it's right next to her in the hopes that you can hear her purr. Do you want to paint too? Pick a brush. She is quite cute. Gotta give her that. Oh, oh. Oh, you yawned in the camera. Nice. Qu'est-ce que tu fais? C'est bon? It's your camera now? Yeah, she has a really interesting coat. It's a really dark orange color. What's up? What's up? I weighed the cats yesterday and they weighed the same and they are all a healthy weight. So I'm happy with that. It's the first time in my life that I don't have an overweight cat. So that's good. Healthy little kitten. Yep, you've been claimed as hers. You all belong to Pico now. Hey, bye Caroline. Have a great weekend. What did you say, Pico? Oh, no. Shock. You gave yourself a shock on the nose. Bonne santé à toi aussi. Oh, you got a good view of cat ears. No, Mom. No. I don't want. Is that chunky for a Dachshund at 10 pounds? Because a female cat is supposed to be like somewhere around 8 to 10 pounds. Depends on the frame, of course, but these are quite healthy at 9.5. Alright, do you want to bid everyone a good weekend? What do you have to say for yourself, kitty cat? Keanu cat is 6 kilos. Is he a big tomcat like, or is he just chunky? Daphne is a mini, should be about 7 to 8. Yeah. It's a little bit chunky. Alright. I'm covered in cat fur. It's honestly not a joke. Do you want to say bye? How do you want to say bye? No? Mom, stop bothering me. There you go. Big face. Big face. Alright guys, have a great yeah, sure. Have a great weekend. Have a great weekend. And Pico says to all of you to be careful and to stay safe and to pet your pets so you don't feel too bored, if somehow you feel bored. Is that a good going away message? What do you think? Purr purr purr? Yeah, I agree. Purr purr purr. So, bye guys. stay healthy, stay safe, and we will see each other quite soon. You can check out the Discord if you want to keep on the discussions going during the week and hang out with us. It can be quite fun while everyone is stuck home to log on there and chat. So yeah. Oh, you're so pretty. You are so pretty. Show everyone your pretty face. Hello. Hello. Okay, bye guys. Nice pickle.